If you've ever wasted hours creating print-on-demand products that do not sell, this video is going to change everything for you. Today, I'm walking you guys through my exact start-to-finish process for creating profitable print-on-demand items using real data, not just guesses. We'll start by researching exactly what's trending currently in EverBee Research. Then I'll show you how I actually designed 3 separate designs in Canva. I connect it to my Printify account, and I publish it directly to my EverBee Store, no Etsy required. This is the full behind-the-scenes tutorial of exactly how I create and launch POD products that actually get clicks, add to carts, and sales, all without overcomplicating the process or having to fight against a huge marketplace. So if you're a print-on-demand seller trying to work smarter, not harder, you're going to want to watch this all the way through. Let's get started. All right, so the first step is actually to find something that you want to create, and obviously using EverBee Research is going to be the best way to do it. So to be honest with you guys, so I didn't make you wait while I was trying to find the right thing. I went ahead and found 3 designs that I'm going to look to emulate myself throughout this video and then place on different types of products. So just so you can see, I'm going to go ahead and show all 3 of them to you and show you in EverBee why I chose each of them. So my particular audience is in like the neurodivergent space. They're also in like the solopreneur online business space. So for today's purposes, I decided to go the neurodivergent route, and I basically just typed that into the Etsy search bar and then did my filters around best sellers, not just star sellers, to make sure that these things were actually already selling. So here's the first one that I really thought was hilarious. All my systems are nervous, and you'll see that this is in 20 carts right now. It's only 5 months old and it has a 9.27 conversion rate. So not only is this performing really, really well on Etsy right now, but I think it could also do well outside of Etsy, again, in our EverBee store. However, you will see that this is currently a ping design. So this is like a digital download that someone could obviously buy and download and then apply to their own products. So this is obviously not a physical product, it is a digital product. I am going to actually build this design from scratch with a few tweaks as to what's going to actually make sense for my end buyer, and I'm going to actually place this on a product today. The next one that I found is this concept of inclusion is my jam and I'm here to spread it. So I thought that that was a really good idea because even though it's not necessarily focused on like neurodivergency per se, it targets the exact people that I have in my community or who my ideal buyers are. So this one is in 20 carts right now. It is a physical product. This is actually a t-shirt. It has a 3.22% conversion rate, and again, only 5 months old. And this is one option. So I thought it was kind of funny because it's like a strawberry and blueberry kind of like band, if you will. But I also really liked this idea as well. It's in demand. It's been bought by 3 people in the last 24 hours. It's only been alive for 3 months and has over 4,800 views on Etsy. So I'm actually going to go this direction instead of the band concept. But again, really thinking of ways that I can spice this up myself rather than just copying and pasting their current design. The last one is this funny concept, which I've actually seen a lot in different ways and on different products on Etsy, is the current side quest brought to you by ADHD design. I thought that was really, really funny, especially because I struggle with hyperfixation and being able to stay focused on something for way too long and then really just like forgetting about it and never touching it again. I also do that with food sometimes where I will get like hyperfixated and I only want this one meal or this one particular thing to eat, and then I literally will be disgusted of the fact that I have to ever touch that again. So I thought that this was a really funny thing that would make sense with my audience because it's something 100% that I would buy. And to be honest, my buyers are me from like 2 to 3 years ago. So I liked that this was actually a cross-stitch pattern. You'll see that 16 views happened in the last 24 hours. This is obviously a digital product that someone could use for their own cross-stitching business or their own cross-stitching hobby. It's only 5 months old and it has an 8.46% conversion rate. But then I also found the exact same concept with a little bit of a tweak to it on the sticker side of Etsy as well. So you'll see it's in 12 carts, the sticker, only 4 months old, and again, over 1,000 views. So these are the 3 things that I have decided to move forward with. So the next step is to actually go into Printify so that I can find the products that I want to actually place these designs on. And then I also want to find the parameters for the design so that I can go make a custom size design in Canva. So I'm going to go back really quickly and show you guys all of the individual designs and what I want to put them on. So like what products do I actually think is going to make sense here? So if we go back to the one that we last ended with, which is current side quest brought to you by ADHD, of course that could be a t-shirt. Of course, obviously that could be a sticker. It could be a magnet. It could be a mug There's so many different things that this could be, but my brain is immediately thinking again about my end buyer and thinking about what this could actually be used by them in their actual day-to-day life regarding their side quest, right? So what I'm thinking is actually going to make a lot of sense for this particular design is actually going to be a tote bag, because the goal obviously would be whatever your side quest is. So if you're into crochet, for example, if you're into print on demand, if you're into fitness, whatever it is, whatever your new side quest is, my ideal buyer side quest, my thought is they can put all of that stuff into a tote bag while they're like actually doing the thing, whatever the thing is. Maybe they just like collecting rocks and that's their new side quest and they have a tote bag to now put it all into. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that one into a tote bag. The next one is inclusion is my jam and I'm here to spread it. So of course, I love the idea of this being on a t-shirt, especially because this is comfort colors. So comfort colors always do significantly well on Etsy, but I actually think I want to turn this into something else. And I'm not 100% exactly what I want to do with this yet. So what I'm actually going to do is take you guys behind the scenes as to how I would figure this out from scratch. So I'm going to go to my catalog real fast, and then I'm just going to scroll down until I see my favorites. So for my EverBee store, I've actually already done the work of going through all the different product options on Printify to determine which ones were going to make the most sense for my ideal buyers for my EverBee store. So I went ahead and just favorited all of them within Printify. So now I'm just going to go through my favorites and see which of these is going to make sense for my ideal buyer. So here's one that I'm thinking that's actually going to make a lot of sense here for my people is a bumper sticker. So I'm thinking about these people want to obviously show that this is something that they believe in, that inclusion is very important to them. So how do you show that? Of course, a t-shirt could show it. Of course, a tote bag could show it. But in this case, I really think a bumper sticker actually will work really well for them being able to actually have that on the back of their car. So we're going to go with bumper sticker for design number 2. So the last one, all my systems are nervous. I truly think this could go on literally anything. Honestly, by the way, guys, I'm going to take all 3 of these designs that we create together today, and I am going to put them on multiple products, and you'll see what I mean in a second by that. But for today's purposes, I think this would do really well on something that's already trending on Etsy right now, which I think it means it will trend elsewhere. I actually just went to Home Goods yesterday with one of my girlfriends, and we were just shopping around, doing random stuff on a Sunday, and I saw sipper cups or sipper glasses, which is this guy right here. So you'll see Printify has a sipper glass 16 ounce. I actually saw these in Home Goods. So that's telling me that not only is it doing well on Etsy, but it also might be doing well on the internet, just in general, because that's obviously what we're trying to do is have things on EverBee Store that doesn't rely on Etsy traffic. So for the all my systems are nervous, I have decided to move forward with the sipper glass. So now what I need to do is go through each of these 3 individual products that I have decided to move forward with and actually create the custom design size in Canva so that I can start building this design. We go back into my favorites and I'm going to scroll a little bit until I find the tote bag that I'm happy with. We currently have a cotton canvas tote bag that's around $7. I do have Printify Premium, by the way. I recommend you guys doing the same because you're going to get a discount on every single product, but you do have to pay a monthly subscription for that, so just keep that in mind. I'm going to go ahead and go with this cotton canvas tote bag for around $7, and I'm going to go ahead and click start designing. And all of this, by the way, is still in Printify. We have not made it to EverBee Store yet. What we are looking for is this thing in the left-hand side that says print area size. So the print area size for right now for the tote bag is 3000 by 3600 px. So all I'm going to do is go into Canva and I'm going to click create, and then I'm going to create custom size. And we're going to do literally what it says, 3000 by 3600, and make sure your units is in px, not in centimeters, not in millimeters, not in inches, and we can click create new design. Now for this particular tote bag, we both agreed that we are going to do the current side quest brought to you by ADHD. And I love the idea of like the crochet look. I love the idea of potentially a typewriter look. What's also really, really cool about this particular design is it can actually be a scalable design as well, because I could say current side quest brought to you by ADHD, and it could be like an Excel spreadsheet logo. It could be a crochet, a ball of yarn and a needle, for example. It could be painting. Like there could be so many different things that are related to different hobbies, which also makes this design overall pretty cool because there's pretty much endless possibilities of how I could scale this out. So I'm going to go ahead and literally just start designing utilizing fonts that I believe are currently trending right now. So I'm going to go and find my text. And for the next couple of minutes while I am building this out, I am basically just going going to put you guys on fast forward so that you can see how I'm designing and what I'm clicking and such, but you don't actually have to stay and watch it. So feel free to just enjoy this if you'd like, or skip to the next part. All right, so we have finished making our first design in Canva, and we do have the right size parameters because we did that first. So now all I have to do is go to share, download, and I'm gonna do it as a PNG, and I'm gonna go ahead and click transparent background and download. Then once we're done with that, we can go ahead and go back into Printify, and if you left the place where you were starting the design on your tote bag, that's totally fine. Just go through the steps that we did to get here in the first place, but I kept it open in another tab. So all I'm gonna go ahead and do now is click upload and select my device, and then find the final version with a transparent background that I just created. And now you can see there are two different color variants for this particular option. There is natural, and then there's also black. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I like black better. I think that looks better just because of the design style that I decided to do and the glow effect that I decided to do behind my elements on the design itself. But of course we can do natural as well. And then you're just gonna basically move this by anywhere you want, whatever makes sense for the design and makes sense on the product. I'm gonna go ahead and just have it right there in the middle, and you'll see the green things can go in and out to be able to put it where you want it. And you wanna make sure that you don't have your design going outside of the dotted line, because that will not get printed appropriately. When you're ready, you can go ahead and go to preview and then just get an idea of exactly what each of them are going to look like with your final design printed on it. All right, so you can see this is the finalized version on the tan background. And then I can go ahead and click black and see if I like those mock-ups as well. And here it is on the black canvas tote. I personally like the black one better, just because, again, of the colors that I decided to choose for this particular design. But you can also see the different mock-ups that Printify offers. There are male and female lifestyle mock-ups. There are also front and back versions. So if you ever wanted to also add this to the back, all you would have to do is go back into the editor itself, click backside, and then do the exact same thing. In this case, I am going to go to my library though, instead of upload, because I already had it in here. And then we're just going to make sure that it is the exact same size as the front. And the way to do that is on the front side, click on the design that you've uploaded, and then just go to the right hand corner and figure out the diameters here. So we have 11.26 width and 13.51 height. So then I can just come back over here and do the exact same. So 2.6, 13.51, and now we are exactly where we're supposed to be on both sides. And if we go to preview, you'll be able to see now the front and the back has the exact same design on it. And what's really helpful about this is, especially for a tote bag, someone might just like put it over their shoulder without looking at which side the design is actually on, if they're leaving the library, if they're leaving the grocery store, whatever it is. So this allows your design to be seen on both sides. So now I'm gonna go ahead and click Save Product. And the next step is Printify is going to ask you, would you like to upload your own mock-ups of this particular product, or would you like to use any of ours? And if so, which ones? Keep in mind, you are only allowed to have 10 mock-ups because Printify is obviously integrating with Etsy in this case, but we're going to use it on EverBee Store, but try to find the 10 that make the most sense for your end buyer. For example, I don't want my product to just be the front. I do want to show that in the mock-ups, but I don't want it to be the front image. What I like to do do instead is find the one that I think will be best for my people. So I'm going to go ahead and choose black as the option. I'm going to go ahead and click X on all of these mockups over here and start from scratch. And I'm going to choose this one as the front option. And then I'm also going to choose this one because I like how it shows the item in a different setting. And then I'm also going to choose how she is actually holding it at a glance. So we're going to choose all three of those. Then I'm going to go to natural and I'm going to do the exact same thing. So I'm going to show that one, and that one. And now we are up to 6 out of 10. So now I'm going to go back to the black and I'm going to show the item itself. So this one and this one, that gives us 8. And then I'm going to go back to natural and do the exact same thing. So we're showing the product, but we're also showing it in different lifestyle settings. Once we're done, we can go ahead and click Save Select. Then if you would like to, you can go ahead and build out your title right here in Printify as well as your description, or you can make those changes when you actually get into EverBee Store. The option is completely up to you. In this case, I am going to go ahead and do it in Printify just so it all easily integrates over there. So I currently use ChatGPT for all of my titles and my descriptions right now. And he also knows exactly who my buyer is because I call him Charles. I use Charles on a daily basis. So he knows exactly how my people need to be communicated with. So I'm basically just going to say, I have a new product. It is a canvas tote bag offered in black and natural colors. The design is imprinted on both the back and the front of the tote with the saying, current side hustle brought to you by ADHD. Then what I'm going to do is go back into Printify, and we are actually going to save that particular item as a draft, or you can open up another screen if you'd like. Either way is fine. But the goal here is we want to get back to the original landing page for the product itself. So I'm going to go back into my favorites and I'm going to go find that particular tote bag. And then I'm basically going to copy and paste over all of the information about the item into ChatGPT so that he can start building that out for me. All right, so size is 15 by 16. And then I'm gonna do the about, the key features, the care instructions, and the sizing guide. And then I'm gonna go ahead and press send into ChatGPT for him to give me the title and the description. He also goes ahead and gives me tags as well as a meta SEO description, which we will be adding into EverBee Store shortly. All right, so I have my title, so I'm gonna go ahead and copy that. And I'm going to go back into Printify, go back into my products and go ahead and just click on the item itself and go down to the title and we can copy and paste that. Then I'm going to go ahead and build out what he gave me for the description. And also you can obviously change this however you want. Just for right now, I'm trying to make this as fast as possible for you guys. And we're going to wait on the tags and the meta description. I'm going to show you why in a second. You can add the tags here if you'd like in Printify, but I'm actually going to show you guys how to do them within EverBee Store instead. Then if there's any enabling of personalization you need to do, you can obviously pop that here. Then you're going to decide how you want to do a shipping method. Right now, I'm just going to keep it at standard. And you can also edit the pricing. So right now, my Printify profit margin is defaulting to 40%, which means the retail price for this custom tote is going to be $24.60. I will receive $9.77 in profit, and it's going to cost me $11.59 for the item. So basically like how much I'm going to have to pay for shipping and how much the product actually is. I don't believe that this canvas tote is going to sell for $24.60. I might want to go ahead and just change the profit margin now and then add a discount on it in EverBee Store. So I'm going to go ahead and click select all and then go to edit profit margin and then change that to 30% and see if I like that better. That's gonna still give me a $6.16 profit, but I will have a retail price at $20.54, which is a little bit cleaner than what it originally was. So now what I'm gonna do is go ahead and just click save as draft again. We don't want to click publish because this is actually going to be something that happens in EverBee Store instead. Let's go ahead and click save as draft. Then what we're going to do is go into your EverBee Store and you're going to go over to the left-hand side to apps and integration. Once you get there, you're going to go all apps. And if you have not added Printify as an integrated app for you, you're going to have to click add instead of what mine is showing as open. So go ahead and click add, log into your Printify, and then EverBee will be able to connect seamlessly with Printify. In my case, I've already done so I'm going to go ahead and click open. And now all I have to do, because Printify is so seamlessly integrated with my EverBee Store, all I have to do is click fetch all updates in the right-hand corner, and then it's going to literally pull pull over what I already built in Printify for me. So you won't see it immediately in here because we're in the all section. What we're gonna have to do is go ahead and go over to the unpublished section of EverBee Store, and then find the item that we are trying to get in here. So I'm gonna scroll all the way down. You can see there's some other things in here just because I was like playing with a bunch of designs, don't mind those. We're just gonna find the one that is applicable, and then we're gonna go ahead and click Publish to Store right here next to the item itself. And then we're gonna click Publish, and then within just a couple of seconds, that will now be live on our store. And now you'll see a little green icon here that says Publish to Store. You'll also see it at the top, Product Published Successfully. So if I come over here and I actually go to my EverBee Store, and I go to my merch, which is what I consider the name of my store, I should be able to see the item right here. Now, currently it is showing a different photo on the very front. That is something that we are working on with EverBee Store for those to be able to be synced, but you will see the item is now here. It has the current title that we had. It has the 2 colors, the size, and then we also have the description that we built out as well. So now what I'm gonna do is actually go into my products by going to products on the dashboard. And I'm just gonna go to the one that we currently have. Obviously, we already published it, but in this case, I do wanna go in here to edit some things. So this is what it's gonna look like on the back end of EverBee Store, a little bit different, of course, than what it looks like for the Printify view itself. So you'll see that it is currently public, but the product category under EverBee Store is actually clothing. So I'm gonna change the category, and I'm gonna make this, let's say, bags. So we have book bags, backpacks, bags, handbags, etc. I'm just gonna select bags and click add category to product. Then in here, you can obviously move some things around if you'd like to have a different featured item, or if you want to upload even more photos. Like I mentioned earlier, Printify is only gonna let you do 10 because I'm currently connected to an Etsy store on Printify. That's why we didn't click publish. We clicked save draft, right? But you can add more on EverBee Store easily by just clicking upload. Now what we're gonna do is go ahead and click next. And then in here, you can also make the change if you'd like. We obviously pulled some stuff over from Printify, but you can edit your variants for your price in here at any time as well. For today's purposes, I'm going to skip that. Now we're going to go ahead and do those product tags. So obviously you're going to need to figure out which tags you want to use here. You can use things like keywords everywhere. You can go in to find some Google keywords. But for today's purposes, I'm just going to grab the ones that ChatGPT gave me, and I'm just going to copy and paste them over into the product tags themselves. So when you're ready to do that, all you have to do is copy it in and press enter, and then you'll see it will turn into an individual tag by simply doing whatever, like you can type it out or you can copy and paste. And then once you click enter, those things will be individual tags themselves. All right, now I'm going to assign it to a collection. If you don't have collections built yet, I highly recommend getting on that. But I'm gonna go ahead and assign it to a collection that I've already personally built. I'm just gonna scroll down until I see my collection of bags, for example, and now you'll see it's in that collection. The cool thing is you can also attach different products to multiple collections if you'd like. So let's say this could make sense for like my mompreneur collection. I could put it in bags and under the mompreneur one. In this case, I'm only going to do one. And then you'll also see page title and meta description is currently blank, and we will need to figure those out and fill them out in order to be found in search engines. So I'm going to go right back to where I was and go ahead and copy the title that we already had and pop that as the page title. And then in the meta description, like I said, I already had ChatGPT curate that for me. But basically, as you can see, this is just a 155 or less characters description of exactly what the item is going to be itself. All right, so now you can see the entire thing is in here, and it has some really good keywords like side hustle, neurospicy, canvas tote, ADHD, etc. And now we can click update. And then it's going to ask you, it's going to let you know that like, hey, just because you did this on EverBee Store does not mean that it's synced to Printify or whatever your third-party integrated thing is. In this case, I do only want it to show up on EverBee Store, so I'm going to click yes. Now, if we go back to our original item and we go to merch, I should have two different things happening. If I go to merch and then I go to bags, I should see this item in here now. So you'll see now current side hustle brought to you by ADHD. This 100% has been added to that collection. But also if I go back to merch and I find this particular item itself, I will also be able to see more things have been added into the item itself. Now, it won't actually be shown on here because it's just the metadata. It's just the behind the scenes stuff, your SEO, your tags, etc. Nor will you see in this collection per se, but from the view that I just showed you within the bags collection, you saw that it was very easily attributed to that. So that's all you have to do, guys, from start to finish, like coming up with the idea, utilizing EverBee research, going into Printify, figuring out the custom size for the product you want to actually do, making the design yourself, whether it be in Procreate, InDesign, Photoshop, Kittl, Canva, it doesn't really matter to us. You make it wherever you want, and then just upload that into Printify, and then choose your mockups and sync it over to EverBee Store. And then within EverBee Store, there's just a couple of things that we want to make sure that we knock out to help you get found in search. So now that that one's done, I'm going to go ahead and knock out very quickly. Again, we're going to fast forward through this. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but we're going to fast forward through the last two designs and how I actually put them on Printify and moved them over to the EverBee Store. And I'm going to come back and show you guys exactly what it looks like once I'm done. All right, guys, I have officially completed all three designs, got them into Printify on the products that we chose at the beginning of this tutorial, and I also added them straight to EverBee Store. I've also made the changes to the collections as well as the SEO metadata, so I want to show you exactly what it looks like in the store now. So the first one that we looked at together design-wise was my All My Systems Are Nervous concept, and then I decided to put that on a sipper glass. So you'll see the design that I actually made is just this fun little circle with this like kind of like retro groovy, in-demand and super trending font. And then I put a funny raccoon that's kind of like dancing. So it adds a little bit of play and like a little bit of joke to like the All My Systems Are Nervous concept that was working really well on Etsy. And you'll see in here, I have the title, the exact type they can get, how big it is, as well as the product description. Now, if I go over to merch and I go down to my collection of mugs, tumblers, and glasses, this is also going to be right there within the collection as the first item, because while I was integrating it with EverBee Store, I went ahead and attached it to that collection. The other one that I created in the fast forward motion that you guys saw was the bumper sticker. So on my EverBee Store, you can see it right here with the mock-up that I chose as the original preview image. And again, you'll be able to see the size, the shape, the surface, because that's obviously what Printify kind of moved over. And then you'll be able to see all of the individual mock-up photos that I uploaded into Printify, now moved over easily to EverBee Store, as well as the description. So guys, that is a full-blown tutorial of exactly how to go from idea all the way to publish on EverBee Store utilizing the Printify integration. If you guys enjoyed this video tutorial, please let me know by typing in POD in the comments if you'd like to see more videos just like this. And if you'd also like a full-blown tutorial on exactly how to utilize EverBee Store to your advantage, I better see you in this video next.